Let's do a redo on my 2012 retirement number of 9 minutes video. Yeah, we're going to update it for 2014 and 2015. Well, back in the day, I told you that I had dentists coming up to me frequently saying, hey, I need $6 million saved for retirement. This is what my planner tells me. The first question I'd ask after that is that in today's dollars or inflated dollars? 100% of the time the person would say, I don't know. So let's get down to some real figures. Everything today is going to be in 2014 dollars or real dollars. Yes, they have to be indexed for inflation, but it doesn't get confusing with compound inflation over time. So this is all going to be in 2014 dollars. Well, Roger Levin does a survey of dentists' net incomes in private practice each year, and it averages anywhere from 200,000 to maybe 230 the last few years. Let's use 250 as our average for a private practice dentist net income. So 250 net income. Of that normally, and I'm using eastern or western states here, 40% taxes, state, federal, and we got to remember our self-employment tax is about $100,000 a year. Also, mortgages for dentists average about $30,000 a year. Yes, I know it gets a lot higher than this, but this is the average for a dentist earning $250,000. How much does that dentist put away for savings each year? What I'm doing is I'm taking out things that won't be needed in retirement. Normally a mortgage, savings, yeah, we're going to add back in taxes, but not at 40%. So what is left over is $95,000. This is the retirement budget for our dentist earning $250,000, not including income tax. Now, we're going to have to add back in income tax because you're going to be paying taxes on your Social Security. Most of dentist savings are tax deferred, so you're going to have to pay taxes on that, but it's not going to be 40%. In fact, all the evidence I can find is it's going to be closer to 22 to 25%. Let's use 33. Let's use a higher level, again, to be more conservative. So $95,000 times 1 divided by 1 minus the tax rate, or 0.33, that comes up to right around $150,000 per year of retirement income needed, pre-tax. $150,000 a year retirement income needed. That's about 60% of the $250,000. Now, a lot of planners will say, I need 70 or 80% of your pre-retirement income, period. We have to use that figure. Well, no, it doesn't make sense for a small business. For a salaried employee, of course it does. So 60% makes a lot more sense here. The interesting part is that we are keeping 100% of our budget in retirement. All your spending needs are going to be the same. Now, the one extra thing I need to say here, if you have a mortgage, you can't subtract the mortgage out, and that kicks up the retirement number at $30,000 closer to $200,000, which is significantly more savings that you're going to need. Okay, we need $150,000 income in retirement. Is there something that's going to help with that income that you're going to receive long term? Yeah, Social Security. May also be a government pension for a spouse. Maybe rentals that you have that are going to help pay income for you in retirement. But let's just include Social Security here. Social Security for dentists, we're almost all going to max out at age 66 or 67, our full retirement age. We are in 2014 dollars going to receive $31,700, or close to $32,000. 2015 is going to kick up probably a little over 32,000, so we're going to use that. So Social Security for the dentist is 32,000. Spouse is going to receive either his or her Social Security calculated amount or 1/2 of the spouse. So the spousal benefit is going to be at least half. That's $48,000 sitting there, gang. That leaves $102,000 left per year that you're going to have to generate from your savings to pull out. In other words, you'll be in retirement for probably about 30 years. The actuaries use the number 95 for the age. 66 or 67, that's 30 years. For 30 years or so, you're going to have to get $102,000 per year from your savings. Well, do you multiply that by 30? No, there's going to be some growth, and we are judging here a very conservative portfolio of 35% stocks, 65% bonds, giving a 3% real return. Long term, over a long period of time for, say, a 50-50 mix, it's more like 4.5%. So I'm going low here at a 3% return over a period of time. Our multiplier is 22. So 22 times whatever you need per year is what your amount of savings is going to need to be. So that comes out to just over, a little over $2.2 million. We'll call it 2.2. Now, you normally have a practice to save, a practice to sell. Your practice is probably going to be worth at least $300,000. $300,000 or so. So still, we come right back to that $2 million amount that you probably will need in retirement. $2 million is our final number here for most dentists, which will safely give them enough to make it through retirement. And there's a lot of other caveats here that can come into play. Grandchildren, parents that you're taking care of, there's a lot of other expenses that we're not including here, but this is just the average, and it shows you the math, how to figure it out. That's the key thing. What's involved in figuring out how much you need? Now, this $2 million is in 2014 dollars. It has to be indexed up every year. So if you're going to retire in 20 years, a lot of guys will say, well, yeah, I know you don't like to talk about inflation, but what's a target number I should really head for? Well, at 3% inflation per year, it just about doubles after 20 years. So $2 million today will be $4 million in 20 years, or about $1.5 million in 10 years.